Hello, my chicklets. Thank you for stopping by. Today is going to be day 16 in our May Flowers event, Larkspur. This is also going to be a more sad fanfic. I think the rest of the fics this week are going to be that way, so please do proceed with caution. It wasn't as if Remus had given up. He was intrusive thoughts. He wasn't sure he could give up if he tried. Still, he hadn't been inside the imagination for days, much longer than he was used to. Instead, he was stuck inside his room, repeating the same design over and over. Normally, he was all over the place. Chaos reigned supreme, but his mind had been focused on one thing, over and over again. He couldn't escape it. No matter what he tried to focus on, it was like a broken loop in his head. Creativity is about butterflies. Scary. Are they opinions that matter? You don't matter. Remus crumbled as the voices echoed around his room. On his face was a dark smile that lacked all happiness. It was unhinged. Curling up into a ball, Remus laughed. Creativity is everything, and that's not a me problem. I'm not scary, and my opinions matter. I matter, he said, but he wasn't sure he believed it. The words had been clawing at the back of his head like an angry raccoon trying to escape. This conversation had been months ago. Why had he not gotten over it? Creativity is about butterflies. He looked around his room, where all of the butterflies were lying still on the ground. Why was he stuck on butterflies? He didn't care. He had his place. He knew what that was, so why was he so stuck? Butterflies. Remus hit the ground, and the butterflies exploded with life, some fluttering easily, others, with only one wing, spun in chaotic circles. He couldn't even make butterflies right. It wasn't like he normally minded. Zombie butterflies were cool, but he wanted to matter. Roman had come to Logan worried. Remus's side of the realm was beginning to break apart, and he hadn't seen his brother in over 2 weeks. He liked to play it cool, like he didn't actually care about Remus, but the truth was he cared deeply for his brother. Still, their relationship was rocky, and he didn't think going to check on his brother was going to be productive. Logan cared deeply about Thomas, and thus it was important that all of the sides were functioning well. He had no qualms going to check on Remus, which is why Roman had turned to him. Knocking on the door that didn't quite feel like wood, Logan called out to Remus. "Remus, you've been in your room for a substantial amount of time. I'm concerned over your well-being." There was no response, and for a moment Logan was going to leave it at that and try again later. But he heard a sound from inside, and it worried him. Well, worried wasn't the right word. He was a healthy amount of concerned. "I'm coming in. Please speak out now if you would like me to stop." There was still no answer. As the door finally opened for him, he saw a swarm of butterflies that just didn't look quite right, and Remus crumpled in the middle of the floor. He was curled in on himself, and Logan immediately knew that something was wrong. "Can you tell me what's going on?" His feet carried him to Remus quicker than he would admit. "Butterflies." "Yes, it seems as if you have created a type of butterfly." He had to try to be careful. "Is there something wrong with them?" "They aren't alive." Logan kept quiet, trying to prompt Remus to continue his thought. "I was trying to make beautiful butterflies, real butterflies, and I couldn't." That is very off-brand for you. What has brought this on?" "Apparently, creativity is butterflies," he spat, letting his disgust hang in the air and the silence until it suddenly all faded away, leaving nothing but a hollow feeling. "It doesn't matter. I don't care." "Ah," Logan thought for a moment. "Remus, do you know much about the decay cycle?" If Remus felt better, this would have been something he very much enjoyed. Instead, he remained quiet. It bothered him. Logic was not prone to bouts of emotion, but seeing someone who was normally so exuberant feeling so lethargic sent a pang through his heart. Logan began to sit down next to him. He knew that sitting down here was a bad idea, but he needed to be on Remus's level. Logan began to explain the concept, detailing how decay and defecation all played a part in bringing about new life. Just as each part of that system is important, and without any of those parts the system would fail, you are also important. You may be intrusive thoughts, the dark side of creativity, or whatever you want to call yourself, but you are just as important as any of us. A consumer in a system is no less important than a producer. The difference is only in their jobs. That's a lot of words, nerd. Hearing Remus speak released tension that Logan didn't know he had been holding. That may be the case, but my point stands nonetheless. So you still think I'm important? I do. He was quiet again for a bit. And you will listen to me? I endeavor to. I may not always be understanding of creative endeavors, but I believe that it is important we all listen to each other, even if listening can be frustratingly infuriating. Remus laughed at that, and if Logan was more poetic, he might have said that it sounded like music to his ears. Now, I believe it is time for you to get up and return to being creative. He sat up and reached out his hand. There was surprise written all over the Duke's face. He stared up at Logan dumbfounded, but took the nerd's hand, a smile creeping across his face. Yeah, time to get back to business. Thank you for stopping by. Again, this was day 16 in our May Flowers event. I hope you all have a wonderful day.